Hello, what's going on? It's been a
Why?
whopping 10 hours since we last spoke to each other.
Yep, that was awesome.
Yeah, Skipper keeps sending me those links, and he forgets that I don't need the links. I can just pop in whenever I feel like it now.
Oh, cool. That's awesome.
So, anything new in the past 10, 11 hours?
Well, stuff I didn't share that I was saving for your show.
Oh, well, thank you for that.
Yeah, I bought something online, and I thought it was a super steal.
Oh,
And I guess you could say that somebody stole something.
uh-oh.
Okay, but well, at my comic book store I like to go to, they sell these great big dragon heads that are on the wall that are like this big, and they got like a wood plaque.
So it looks like
stuff.
a mounted animal for like taxidermy.
Yeah, here I'll try to find the picture from the ad real quick. I should have had this up before we
No, that's
started
perfectly fine. Hey, Whip and Leo, thank y'all for being here. And QC, what's going on? I just realized I forgot to turn off that pesky live react button that they need to move because, oh, that's annoying.
Yeah, I don't know.
Thank you, Leo, for reminding people to hit that like button. And 3G, what's going on? So people that were a little confused, I set one of my under 3-minute videos as a trailer for the live stream, just so y'all, when you showed up, if you showed up a little bit early, you weren't just sitting there watching nothing. You at least got to watch something. So that's what that was. If you were wondering why there was a random video that started playing, no, you did not click on the wrong thing. Oh, it's got the picture on my big screen. Oh, that looks pretty cool.
Yeah, they sell them for $125. And I've been tempted
cheap
to buy
as
one.
hell. Wow.
Well, they had them on Facebook for $32.
What?
And I'm thinking,
What?
well, maybe you're buying them direct, because comic book stores always charge so extreme prices.
Yeah.
Well, you want to see what I got? It didn't even come in a box. It came in a bag.
Oh, that's a little sketchy.
Yeah, and it's still kind of cool, and I'm not totally against it.
Oh, okay. I would put that on my wall.
Yeah, well, it's a baby dragon.
It's still cool,
but it doesn't
though.
look too bad.
Look, there's even a hole in there if you wanted to make some flames to come out of it or something.
Well, it has lights up inside its mouth, and it came with this mister that I thought I would try out.
Okay.
It's like this thing for breathing.
Right.
People mist their face.
You could use that mister as part of a reptile tank, and that dragon head could be in your reptile tank.
Yeah, or it could just be on my wall.
True. Also, hello, Bruiser and Adam. What's going on? Hope you guys are having a fantastic Friday.
I've never... Oh, wow. That just pumps it out right away. Oh, my God. It's just shooting. Okay. Let me...
That'd be Silver Creek. What's going on? Hope you're doing well. Silver Creek, Squirtle fell off again. I don't know what's going on, but Squirtle doesn't like being... I'm going to have to, like, freaking crazy glue that Velcro onto him for some reason. I don't know why he keeps falling off on me.
Hey, we might have to turn out some lights in here.
All right, we're testing out Ed's dragon head here. Let me make you big screen. The lights look... The teeth look pretty cool with the light.
You gotta make it so the smoke doesn't come out the back. Okay, it's filling up. Oh, I can see it starting to come out.
There we go. Yeah, now I can see it. Looks pretty cool.
Wow. Now straight on. Well, it's not too bad straight on with the light on.
Now, do you know what they used to make the dragon head? Did they use styrofoam and then put Sculpey or something over it, or
it's a rubber over a like sponge or something?
Okay.
Well, I wonder how long this mister works.
It's not as long as there's still water, it'd probably be fine. Yeah, that'd be the one thing you'd have to worry about when you're doing your like if you put it on your wall, you'd have to probably somehow seal the edges so it doesn't just leak out behind and then like mess up your wall, especially if you got sheetrock you're putting it on.
Yeah, it's kind of neat though. I mean, you can see this thing.
But yeah, that's pretty cool.
Oh, the water wasn't full in there. Okay, let me put more water in this machine.
Okay. Leo, no, Charmander is the worst.
Why? No,
One little spritz from any of our fish tanks, and that Charmander's gone. Like, come on.
Okay, so here's the deal. You want it to be at an angle.
Mm-hmm.
Whoops, I gotta.
QC wants you to switch it up and put butane in there so it's fire.
See if it starts pumping. Oh, darn it. It was all filled up on the inside. I wonder if I need to almost put a little fan in there.
It's coming out a little bit.
Not much. But there's so much in this side.
Yeah, that is weird. Maybe you'll have to maybe play around with the orientation of it.
That feels good.
You might just have to play around with the orientation of the mister and see if there's a different way it can fit in there or something, and maybe it'll be the most optimized way to stick her in. Oh,
yeah.
So I spilled a whole cup of tea on my keyboard last night during John and Lisa's stream, and I had to unplug my keyboard, and for whatever reason, my stupid speakers keep making staticky noises now. I think I must have moved the cord or something, because it's rather annoying to just have random static come through your speakers.
Does John and Lisa still have their number from Virginia?
I don't think they changed their cell phone numbers. So Lisa's number is the same.
I got a call today from Virginia, and I was wondering if it was John.
If you've got them saved in your phone, it probably wasn't them. Because I
don't know. I don't think I ever saved it. I just wait till he calls me.
I know Lisa's number didn't change. It's the same one that she always had. So I would assume that his didn't either.
Does the end of his phone number end with a 5?
So I only have Lisa's number. I don't have John's number.
You don't think Lisa would call me for anything unless it was like a pet cat something or fish. But John, I talk to John every Tuesday, so he might have something, for the Aquashella meetings.
Whip said John's is the same.
So, okay. Well, Whip, I'll send you this number and see. I know John's called me in the past, but I didn't save it, and I should have.
Yeah,
I was taking a nap, and I didn't.
The only time I talk to him is Facebook. I don't text him. I only text Lisa.
So how do I sound?
You sound fine.
I'm using a microphone.
Is it coming out your actual microphone, or is it coming out the headset?
It is coming out of this microphone right here.
Oh, very nice.
Is that amazing or what?
It's wonderful.
Hello, fans and friends.
You don't even technically need that headset anymore either.
No, I don't. But the speakers on my computer are so pathetic. I can't hear full blast.
So I remember I was worried getting rid of the headset because everyone's like, "Oh, you don't need a headset." I'm like, "But I do, because I'm used to not StreamYards where it filters all the freaking background out for you automatically." Because I know if I just go and hit record on OBS or Audacity, it doesn't filter out background like StreamYard does. So I still have to constantly hear all the freaking annoyances behind me. Whip said John's number does not end in a 5. So,
well, then I don't know who called me.
Probably just a telemarketer looking for money, or is your truck warranty up or something?
About 125,000 miles ago. My truck is old, and the warranty on my that's what sucked too. On my Camaro, was it ran out like years before the miles ran out, because I bought it in 97. It's a 97 Camaro. And I don't know how many years it was, like a 5-year or something. And I never came close to getting my 85,000 or 100,000 or whatever it was. It doesn't have 80,000 still on it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm good with my Subarus. I don't need a fancy schmancy car.
Yeah, me too.
Hey, collaboration.
I absolutely love the truck that I own now is my favorite car I've ever had, I think.
Okay.
I absolutely love it, and it makes me sad that it has over 100, almost 150 or 250,000 miles on it.
Hey, Jenna.
And they stopped making them. Hi, Jenna. They stopped making them. Oh, Adele's here too. But so it's such a bummer. I don't know. I'm just sad. And yesterday when I was in the Walmart parking lot during the major storm, it just died. I had to start it up again.
Oh.
And that was kind of weird. I hope doesn't have a problem.
Yeah, I would not be good. Metalhead, what's going on? Hope you're doing well. Metalhead, are you streaming tonight? Let me know. Because if not, grr. Also, Dennis, what's going on? Haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're well.
Hello, Dennis.
Yeah,
hello, Josh.
I missed my Subaru, my first Subaru Forester, my 99. It was crap on gas mileage, but I loved that car. It was like a tank. And it had the running boards on the side. So my friends used to stand on the side of my car and we'd drive through parking lots. And it was fun.
It's smart.
Oh, yeah, we're smart people. We had one friend, big Russian guy. He stood on the passenger side running board. And I'm not kidding. The whole car went like this.
Wow.
Because he was like over 300 pounds. So him standing on one side of the car made the whole car just ever so slightly pitch. I'm like, oh my God, this car is going to flip over. It was
Josh. I feel sorry for Josh. Josh, was it your first time you watched us play Dungeons and Dragons on Tuesday? It was really cool. He came up and saw us for a few minutes, and I was like, oh, I hope we're not boring him. I just totally don't see Josh.
Silver Creek.
I think Josh is the type of guy who beats up people that play Dungeons and Dragons.
I mean, he was making fun of Carrie Underwood the other day, so it wouldn't surprise me. Hey, Xana Doodoo, what's going on?
Is Carrie Underwood that girl that said she used to be country and now she hates it?
No.
Oh.
She's saying Jesus take the wheel.
I don't know who that is. I'm not really into big Christian music.
All country dabbles a little bit in it, but she was an American Idol person.
Yeah, I watched the year that guy, I think his name was Taylor Swift or something. He had brown or gray hair and he danced all over the place.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yep. I can't think of his name, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
I think his name was Taylor Swift.
There was a Taylor somebody, and I can't think it was. Oh, Josh said he doesn't beat people up anymore, so that's a good thing. Also, sorry, Silver Creek. Silver Creek City made it a Nubius tree last night, but the heat killed it. So back to regrowing the rhizome. That do suck. I'll never forget when I went to the first Aquashella, I forgot to turn the light off on one of my smaller tanks, and I burned the crap out of my Nubius. But enough of the rhizome survived that it grew back, and it's been, 2 years now, and there's an Anubias plant again.
Nice. Well, as soon as this show's over, I am going to take my fishy fish. That's its name. I didn't name it. Rat Cross named it. It's his goldfish. I'm going to take fishy fish and put it in a 55-gallon fish tank.
Oh.
And then I'm taking the 30-gallon tank that fishy fish is in right now, and I'm moving out 2 10s that are in my fish room and placing it in that spot.
Okay.
And I'm going to plant all of these Wang plants, Luke Wang plants, and in that tank.
Oh, sounds like a plan. That's the tank you're going to do the Congress in, right?
Yes. And then in a few months, maybe I'll get condos.
Okay.
I'll let these roots take good firm growth and make sure that I know how to use the CO2.
Yeah, I thought about that too, and I'm like, do I want to go that route yet? I probably should, because I got John and Lisa restocked on their red plants and their pink plants, and I messaged John and I'm like, y'all gotta stop with the plants and things because I need more. And his name was Taylor Hicks. That's who you were thinking of.
Yeah, Taylor Hicks. I don't know where I came up with Taylor
So
Swift.
I have a box. I didn't fully open my box of plants yet. I was saving that for today. So I got my plants from good old keepfishkeeping.com.
Nice job, Adam.
And they come in these. They're crazy people because they put them in these bags. So you get a nice insulated bag. So yes, the heat can still hurt them, but it's somewhat less likely. Whip, what am I guessing? What happened? Did you get a Pokemon?
Lefty.
So
lefty.
And I think I ordered from other places too that put them in these bags. It must be like a Northeast thing that put them in these bags because we know how the weather gets. But
I got one of those bags too from someone.
And I usually save these because you can put like if you don't have like a styrofoam container in your car or something, and you buy some kind of dairy product and it's hot out, and you're worried about it being in the car because you're going more shopping, you can just put them in these and it'll hold the cold in.
I can tell you where mine is right now.
Is it in the car?
No, it's next to my bed on the floor because the cats like to lay in it.
You know,
they love crunchy bags.
For whatever reason, you saying that made me think that this would be a good portable barf bag too.
Oh, right, an expensive barf bag because it's a one-shot deal.
Well, if you're ordering it with fish, I mean, it comes with it. So, all right, what happened? Whip said, "I'm gonna make this one big because that's an interesting."
No, Pokemon.
Whip said, "I bought a black arowana today. Haven't gotten him yet, but I love. Oh, that's cool.
That is.
The more I see bigger tanks, the more I kind of am thinking, do I want to get it? Will eventually, not now because I have nowhere to put a big enough tank. Do I want to get fish like that? And I'm like, maybe I will at some point down the road. But discus have to be first. I'm craving a discus tank again. And I'm slowly thinking I could put it over here.
You can get a column tank.
Well, PetSmart sells.
They go up and down.
PetSmart sells like a 60-gallon, and the fish store that I was working at for a little while had one, and they had a nice group of discus in there, and they did great because it's a tall tank. It's skinny, but it's nice and tall for them, and the fish breed in it for them. So I'm thinking I could do that. I used to do. And I'm trying to think, would it fit on what I have here? But it also comes with a stand, so it's like $350 or something. I think when it's on sale for a 60-gallon with a stand, and then I'm like, that could work, and I could put it over here. But then I'm like, well, I don't know. At some point down the road, I'm thinking it.
It might be a 50 because mine's a 50. I bought mine from PetSmart like 25 years ago or 30 years ago. But I used to keep the discus in the 200, and then I moved a pair into that because they paired up, so I wanted to keep them away from the others. And they did great for a long time. It's neat, and I love that tank. That tank is now sitting ready for saltwater.
Speaking of that, Brucer, I tried to convince my mother to let me put a nice 55 or 75 in our dining room because we have a sidebar that would be perfect for it. And I'm like, look, I can put these discus in here. It'll look really cool. And she's like, no more tanks. And then, of course, I got more tanks and just put them in my bedroom.
I think your mom needs to respect you more.
Well,
does she know how lucky she is to have you in her house?
Probably not.
At your advanced age.
But yeah, let me pull this tank. I pulled up the tank just to show which one it is. We do this.
Oh, so look at that cute bird.
So this is it's $550 on sale. But if I can make this big enough, I like how they don't let you go super big. But the tank, so it's skinny. It's only 12 3/4 wide, but it's 48. Is it 48 this way? Yeah, so it's 48 long and then it's 25 high.
You know what? That is exactly the fish tank and stand that I'm putting fishy fish in.
Oh. But
I have that exact stand because Rat gave me the whole thing.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm like, I could work with this because then I have like a printing table thingy. But then I'm like, well, I get these nice shelves and I can organize things and I have a drawer I can put things, like it could work. But I ain't getting that anytime soon because I have no money.
Yeah, that's a bad time of the year for you.
Well, yeah, it is, and with the car payment and everything, it's super tight. So, ooh, Dan just got a bunch of amazing discs. Cool, cool.
Oh, nice. Do you ever apply for unemployment during the summer?
You can't. It's against the law.
Oh, that would have been
because
cool.
we signed contracts that were only 10-month employees. So if we apply, we basically lose our jobs and don't get unemployment.
No. It's a bummer.
But, you know, some people have tried.
You could have a garage sale.
We did that, and I applied to some summer stuff, but none of it panned out. So I think I applied and then had interviews like most of the month of May for different things, and nothing panned out. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do my normal thing and veg out for the summer.
Yeah. But, I mean, you could sell your Pokemon cards for thousands of dollars.
You know,
just pay your car off.
I did find my original Pokemon binder with my OG cards. So I have to go through them and see if I have anything that's, you know, decently priced. I don't have a Charizard, unfortunately.
You need to sell when there's still a market.
That is true.
And how long has this Pokemon market been going? Over 20 years, hasn't it?
It's last year was the 25th, so this is the 26th year.
Yeah, and everything dies.
True.
Like these pops. Remember the pops? They were so hot, the pop toys, for a long time. They still sell them, but I don't see people like busting them out and selling them for $500 and stuff now.
Yeah, I mean, the really only like the 3 like trading card games like that I can think of that are still around and you can still sell older things for decent price. You got Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and Magic. Because Digimon's trading card game never really panned out. And there's been other ones that have tried to emulate it, but I don't think they ever did as well as those 3 did.
I've got some game cards that at the Clash, I'll give you a handful of them. Okay. And then we'll play against each other.
Okay.
They're one-time game cards only.
Oh.
They have little rub-offs.
Okay.
They have 20 different circles you rub off, and you have to rub off against each other and see who kills each other first.
Interesting.
Yeah. I think it was a total failure because there was no collectability on it.
Leo, I think you're partly right. I think at some point it will 100% die. And I think this new anime is going to definitely test that because they got rid of their main character they've had for 25 years.
And I'm not trying to make anybody upset, Leo. Like,
well, no, everything eventually dies off.
But, I mean, like sports cards, okay? I used to be a huge sports card collector. And they were worth a lot of money before the economy kind of tanked 20 years ago. And they started to rebound a couple of years ago, but now it's going down again. And it's just because people don't want to spend their excess money on a piece of cardboard.
And especially now when no one has any real extra money because everybody's hurting. But the only saving grace for Pokemon is the original cards that were produced by Wizards of the Coast. Pokemon Company and Game Freak don't have the rights to those cards or the artwork. So they can never reprint them. Only Wizards of the Coast could. So those cards will never go down in value because Pokemon can't just come around and print them again. The other sets that they produce themselves, they could come out tomorrow and say, hey, remember those cards you loved 15 years ago? We're just going to mass print them again.
Well, I think another advantage that Pokemon has is it appeals to younger kids. So kids are always going to beg for a toy or a gift or something.
And I will say, even in just working in like the school for 5 years now, the first 2.5 years, kids weren't really into Pokemon. for whatever reason, in the past year and a half to two, it's like exploded again. And like
rebounding.
every
That's
freaking
awesome.
grade level loves it again. Whereas when I first started, you know, most of the older kids like Naruto, and maybe like the kindergartners and first graders liked Pokemon. But then when you got on the upper grades, they couldn't give two craps about it. This past year, like every grade level kids loved it more than the year before. So it's kind of weird to think that it came back so heavily, but I attribute that a lot to Netflix having the Pokemon series is on their platform. So like, because everyone has Netflix, most everyone has Netflix still, or had it
Well,
until the whole password thing happened.
I think the big goal is to pray that Disney doesn't buy Pokemon.
Well, allegedly, Disney wants to sell everything to Apple.
Yeah.
Bob Iger wants to sell everything off because they've lost money on Disney Plus. They've lost money on the Star Wars franchise. They pretty much lost money on everything that they've made. So they want to kind of sell everything.
Hopefully they sell it to Lucas instead of Apple.
Yes.
Because now Lucas still owns 30%, right?
I don't know how the deal is. I know they want to sell it back to him for like a fraction of what they paid.
Yeah, which would be wonderful.
But
and then all the things that, because they said you can still own 30%, and it meant he has no control of nothing, and except for his name. And it really sucks because they just took his storyline, threw it away. All the old storyline they said is garbage.
Yep.
And threw it away. And it's the stuff that I grew up reading. So I would like him to buy it back and say the Disney movies are garbage. We'll keep the TV shows and the cartoons because they're good.
People have like there's a way they could do it where like 7, 8, and 9 were just like a force vision that Luke had, and it just goes away.
Just throw it away. Just say it's not
no longer canon.
Disney. Yeah, I say Disney can have those for free.
Change the name.
But you can't have R2D2 or
it's War
C3PO.
Stars now.
Yes.
But then I'm wondering,
what was the original name?
Oh, what was the original name?
Was it like?
I know Luke's name was like Star Killer or something.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering if Lucas buys it back, what happens to the Disney park that has the Star Wars stuff?
Well, it would just still be there because just like how MGM still has Marvel at theirs, but
hey, Caleb.
I mean, having a park doesn't hurt you, having people looking at your crap.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know what Disney gets from MGM for it, but they probably get whatever Marvel got from it, whatever little kickback, 5%, 10%.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, plant back. So let's see, what did I get?
Boy, we really got off of some crazy tangents.
So
today.
I bought water wisteria again. I don't have any mollies that will eat it this time, I'm hoping. Because I don't have mollies anymore. Because anytime I planted this in the past, my mollies would gobble it down to nothing. So I've got that. And then everything else should be red plants, I think. Maybe.
I had water sprite.
I've got
Is this how Lisa sends her plants?
This is how they send them.
Where's this?
You get a nice Ziploc baggie. And then they put it in a nice wet piece of paper.
Now, how much does a big bag of plants like that cost?
I want to say each of these was like, I think each plant was like $10 or something. It depends on the plant. Most of the tropical stuff.
How many plants are in there?
There's 2 in here.
Okay, that looks like a lot of plants.
If I think most of their stuff is most of the potted stuff I want to say is like $9.99 to $12.99, just depending on what the plant is. And then some of like the boosters are a little more expensive, and some of the stem plants might be a little cheaper depending on how they have them. So I got a Ludwigia Super Red and then a Lobelia in here. Haven't opened these yet. I was hoping the light to the tank would have come by now, but it hasn't. So I'm going to put them in a holding tank downstairs that has a nice grow light on it. Yep, can't read what that says, but here's another red plant. I'll camera it, and maybe you can all figure out what that says.
AFFER Affer, and then. Oh wait, I should be looking at the big screen.
I probably should have thrown out my packing slip.
Parson. After Parson.
And then one more, I think. Yep. And then I got a crypt and then another pink something or other in this bag.
Hey, George.
But yeah. Because the email came out and the pictures of the plants, of course, look gorgeous. So I'm like, ooh, I'm going to try these again. And I'm going to put these in the tank that uses the 24-hour hygrolite because the plants in that tank are growing like weeds. So I want to put the red ones in there because I know those typically like more highlight. And then if I wanted to go the CO2 route, this would be the tank that I'd be putting it on.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's what I got. And I don't have any mush in mine, unfortunately. So I'm sorry you had a mushy plant.
It's all right. I mean, mine were free. I got to get them in their spots. I don't know what they are. I wish Steven lived a lot closer to me. He could tell me what to do to them.
Hey, Winky. And George, what's going on?
Winky's awesome. Do you know Winky knows a butt ton about movies?
I didn't know that. Winky, we're going to have you up here sometime to talk movies and play our wheel.
You know what? Can we play the wheel? We haven't played the wheel in for months.
Sure. Hey, Patty, what's going on? Yes, mood boosting. I'm trying something different with the titles because, we're just for shits and giggles. I made my life a lot easier. I put the wheels at the top of my saves now, so I don't have to scroll to the bottom in the middle and figure out where they are.
That's cool.
All right.
Tony Bennett died today.
I saw that. That is very sad. But I mean, it's probably, honestly, it's going to sound bad, but it's probably for the better since he was losing his mental faculties and forgetting who he was. So dementia and Alzheimer's is a hard thing to go through.
It's probably in the water on Long Island.
Wow. Patty, are you saying that hanging out with Ed and I doesn't boost your mood? Really? Because I did it. It's scientifically proven because last week Ed wasn't here and the views for the stream are awful. Ed's here and everybody's here. I know, it's crazy.
I feel bad for Patty, though, because we're still trying to figure out her connection to Tony Bennett, but she has to have one because they're both from Long Island. I mean, everybody if you're from a skinny Long Island.
True.
Unless she's from one end and he's from the other.
All right, let's see what decade we're going to get. What we're going to get. Your mood isn't boosted because... Okay. I mean, we could show up and just rub your stomach until the gas pains go away.
Winky may have to be my lifeline if I don't know.
Keep going. Stop.
It's still spinning on one of them, but not on the other.
Okay, so we got 2000. So 2000, 2009.
Oh, man, those years all blend together for me because they were my third shift. I would take
genre.
all Thursdays.
Get a bunch of clicks in there, see where we land.
What would you use? Union days to go see the movies?
Oh, I forgot. Hang on. I forgot to do this. I fixed it. Here, I'll click it a few more times then.
Well, it's really spinning.
Yeah, I clicked it about 1,000 times. Okay, so 2000 movie. What are we going to get? Oh, look, it did the stupid two yellows next to each other again.
My nephew's here. Tommy Silver.
Oh, it might have made it super easy for us, Ed, because it's random, which means you and I get to pick the year the movie genre we want to do for the whole 2000s, which really opens it up a lot.
It's kind of harder because normally I try to picture a movie poster for the season for the year. How is this so hard doing random? Okay.
Wow, 2000s. I kind of almost like it better when we just get a genre.
It's okay. Let's think.
Wait a second.
Despicable Me.
Wait,
Is that what it was called? Despicable Me?
I feel like
with the
was way after. But let me Google.
First one, like, the one with the first time they meet him.
Despicable Me was 2010. So you're a year over. Star Wars Attack of the Clones? That was an early 2000s movie, right? Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm going Star Wars Attack of the Clones because that's probably that's probably my favorite of the prequels.
Okay, well, how about the Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull?
That might be after 2. Oh no, that was 2008. Perfect. There you go.
I was trying to think of movies I saw at the drive-in because I saw a lot of movies at the drive-in also during that span. Open Range. When did that come out? 90. Let's say 98.
Which one?
Open Range. Open Range. It's a great classic Western. I'm going to go 89. Or 98, rather. But it could be in the 2000s. Because I saw it at the movie. Okay. See, I took my sister to the drive-in and her kids to that.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, so Star Wars Revenge of the Sith, also 2000s. The first Star Trek remake. I couldn't remember if that was 2009 or 2010, because all I remember is my brother-in-law played it when my niece was like 3 days out of the hospital to get her used to noise.
That was so hard doing one without a genre, though, because I have to. What I normally try to do is picture a movie poster on the walls at the movie theaters.
Yeah. 2012 also. I was going to say Day After Tomorrow, but I feel like I've said that multiple times already for movies. So I wouldn't want to go with Day After Tomorrow.
That's one of your favorite go-tos.
The Hulk. One of the Hulk movies was the 2000s.
I saw that at the drive-in also.
Iron Man in the 2000s? It had to be. Right?
Probably. Let's go 2006.
2008.
Oh, man.
So we could have definitely... I knew the Marvel stuff started right where I was getting ready to go out of high school. So, let's see. There was a Pokemon movie, which I didn't like that one. A lot of Studio Ghibli movies.
I have no idea what's still...
Japanese animation company.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not a huge anime guy.
Hey,
but
Daniel,
I love
Scuba Steve-O, what's
my
good?
Godzilla movies.
See, Scuba Steve just proved my point right there, Ed. No one shows up for me. They all show up for you. Scuba Steve saying Chattanooga Ed, my favorite YouTuber. See?
Well, you should bring him up here and see what his favorite movie is.
He can get in here. He's got access to StreamYards.
Yeah, I know. So,
let's
see.
iRobot.
Cruiser's so cool. That iRobot movie I have really enjoyed that movie over the years. Because I have gone up. I have a whole sequel that I've come up with that I think would be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about a caravan of survivors that kind of travel across the country, knocking off those guys.
Okay.
And trying to find survivors. And like my whole story that I've come up with is in Tampa Bay.
Okay.
I don't know why I picked Tampa Bay, but when I came up with the story like 15 years ago, I picked Tampa Bay. And I really, I've wanted to take a writing class to learn how to write a script. Because I have the stories and everything down, but I don't know how to write the actual script.
Yeah, that's the hard part. Tampa Tom, what's going on? We said Tampa and you appear. What's good?
That is awesome.
District 9.
And that was before I knew Tampa Tom.
Did you see District 9?
I never did see District 9.
I think it got a bad rap. I didn't think it was awful. I think what they tried to do was good. It's unfortunate that it'll never get the sequel that it probably should have gotten. It was, they did it as like a documentary style movie of aliens coming to Earth, but it's not what you would think about when aliens come to Earth, because they're basically coming here as refugees.
Yeah, I picked that up.
So it's not what people like. We went to see it and we had all we knew about it was aliens. We're like, oh, it's gonna be great, and then we watch it and we're like, this is weird, but a good weird.
Yeah. Netflix made a version of it, kind of.
Did they?
But the people were orcs.
Oh.
So there were humans and orcs that lived together. And the orcs were kind of the inner city, bad guy people.
Okay.
More. And it was a pretty good movie, which was really weird because it was terrible at the same time. But I really enjoyed it.
Okay. Let's see. We've also got the first Transformers movie. The first live action one with Shia LaBeouf, anyway. Lots of Pokemon movies.
Megan Fox.
2000s. Could have picked any one of those, but I didn't.
Megan Fox said she didn't want to do those anymore because they made her feel too trashy. And look at what she wears now.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
Let's see. Spider-Man 2, or is that Spider-Man 3? Wolverine
that was
Origin.
Terrible. Spider-Man 3 was the one that had a script that was rewrote 3 times.
Answer? I feel like an idiot now.
For what?
One of the best pieces of cinema came out in the 2000s. Return of the King was in 2003. Ooh. That is by far I think my best and most favorite Lord of the Rings film.
See, I have a hard time saying it's the best one. I think it's third out of the 3. But it's darn good.
Listen, you cannot tell me that the scene where all of Rohan shows up doesn't give you chills every time you watch it.
Yeah, but
in that rousing speech,
you didn't get chills of the fight on the wall. Gosh, I feel dumb right
Helm's
now.
Deep?
Normally I can. Yeah, and Helm's Deep. That was amazing.
My second favorite. I go in reverse order for the Lord of the Rings.
But then in the first one, when they're walking through Mordor Moria. Yeah, that's freaking amazing. The first huge fight in the casket room or what, it was awesome. The cave troll was so amazing.
See, that one's my least favorite of the 3.
I don't know. I just think they're just an amazing.
I go in reverse order. My favorite is Return of the King. Second favorite is Two Towers, and then Fellowship is my least favorite.
I feel like Return of the King, they just finished. Some of the stuff didn't look as polished. It almost looked too clean. Like they didn't go the extra mile to make things look so original. Like he was way too. When he went out for the final fight, he was so clean at the end of the fight. He wasn't dirty at all.
Well, they gave him all the armor.
And then like all of the deleted scenes were terrible.
Really?
In that movie? Oh my gosh, they were like just done on video. They didn't even do the deleted scenes on film on some of that stuff.
Oh,
and
I
like watching but the other deleted scenes in the other movies were all on film. And I really the deleted scenes, and I watched the whole thing. I like it with all the deleted scenes.
Yeah.
And I think that video really hurts my final cut of Return of the King.
Okay.
And I know it's mostly just Sam and Frodo running around, trying to hide from all the orcs and stuff, where it's all in video. But there's like 4 shots like that I absolutely hate. But I love Sam so much. Sam really showed his colors in the third movie. Yep.
Oh, did you ever see 9? Just called 9?
Which 9?
The one that came out in 2009? I think was that Tim Burton?
Well, okay, was it like I was going to say the claymation-y looking one?
It was,
or is it the one about the girl named 9?
No, it's the one about like the rag dolls.
Yeah. No, I didn't see that version. But the Japanese one, I don't know what that was, but
Didn't
it was like some
Winky, are you talking about Repo the Genetic Opera, or which one are we talking about? Because that's a wonderful movie that everyone should see at some point.
There's
movies that we shouldn't ever talk about, like Dragon Ball Evolution, which was god awful.
I loved it.
You liked the Dragon Ball movie?
No.
Oh, okay.
I never saw it. I'm just playing your Siskel.
Silver Creek. Yes, Repo the Genetic Opera. I remember the first time I saw that. It's a wonderful movie. If you haven't seen it yet and you like weird, like post-apocalyptic stuff, y'all definitely need to watch it.
Well,
Winky's throwing out some pretty harsh words there that go against Star Wars being a masterpiece trilogy.
Wait, she's saying it's not?
In my opinion, the three Lord of the Rings films are the best example of masterpiece trilogy in cinematic history. I would argue for the original Star Wars trilogy.
I believe that Star Wars was replaced by Lord of the Rings, and I remember having this discussion in a Waffle House with all my friends.
Interesting place to have a discussion.
Well, it's the only thing open because we watched like the Thursday night showing, so it was like 3 a.m.
Yep.
And we were like,
hey,
this is going to be better than Star Wars. And we were the hugest Star Wars fans I ever knew. You know, I mean, we were just like big Star Wars nerds. And I mean, we were also Dungeons and Dragons guys that loved The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. But when we saw that first one, we were like, we didn't even know what the other two were going to be like. We were already saying, if the other two are just half as good, this is insane. And it was. I think it's up there. Put them all together because you need the 12 hours. I mean, uncut.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I like to watch it. All 12 hours, not the 9 hours, but the 12. And it is awesome. Make it a day. Buy yourself a big bowl of shrimp and eat your shrimp.
I feel like the Lord of the Rings stuff has held up better to time than Star Wars has. Because I just rewatched the original 3 Star Wars, and I didn't get as much enjoyment out of it as I used to.
Yeah.
Hey, Beta Aquatics, what's good?
I feel the same way. You know, A New Hope, I almost fall asleep in now.
Yeah,
that's sad.
I couldn't make it through. Like, I feel like I ended A New Hope. Like, I started watching it, and I stopped right as, like, they realized that Leia was in the detention block. And then I didn't start watching it for another couple days just so I could finish it.
And then when we watched 1, 2, 3,
yeah,
you know, the new ones, all the clones, we all thought it was garbage.
See, I didn't. I loved them.
I mean, I loved the sword fighting, but it was still terrible.
See, I liked it because it had more of the politics and the Republic in it.
I think it's because it had Natalie Portman in it, and I have a bad attitude towards her.
That might be.
Nevertheless, it was now after seeing 7, 8, and 9. 7, 8, 9. Those
they're wonderful films.
They're wonderful. they're absolutely amazing, and I enjoy it. But I think what made those movies was the Clone Wars cartoon. The Clone Wars cartoon is one of the best cartoons ever made.
You know what I realized watching this? I've started rewatching that whole series again. When they ported it to all the streaming services, when Lucas was producing that, he didn't produce it in chronological order. So you actually have to find a timeline list on the internet to watch it because I'm watching it and I got to a season 3 episode and I'm like, wait, this dude died in season 2. What is he doing in season 3? And that's when I looked it up and I'm like, oh, these aren't in order.
Well, you see, and that's what makes 1, 2, and 3 so good because there was so much action going on, we couldn't see it all in those 3 movies.
Yeah.
But those cartoons put it all together. Now, in 4, 5, 6, nothing's going on. So everything going on was just those, those people, really. And so that's what made it really those good. I mean, they've added a few new Jedis now, like Elijah and this new schmuck, but they've added a few new guys. But yeah, I don't know. And Disney has knocked it out of the park with these TV shows.
Oh yeah, they're the TV. The only TV, the newer one that I didn't like was Book of Boba Fett, because I don't think the fact that they put the episodes that should have been the first couple episodes of Mandalorian season 3 were for whatever reason put into Book of Boba Fett, which didn't need to be there.
Well, the Book of Boba Fett would have been better if they would have done the Bounty Hunter Wars.
Yes, and I think we talked
those
about this
books
before.
Are awesome, and that's the Boba Fett I know, who acts more like Mando, you know.
Yep.
But this Boba Fett acts more like the actor, you know, that was a clone.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what I don't like as much. You know, I don't like his armor, but I understand it's because it's got to cover a fat guy instead of a skinny guy. But I don't.
So
just keep his helmet on too, and if he takes it off, make it a big scarry mess.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't need that guy.
So this was so I own the 97 VHS box set of the original Star Wars trilogy. So when I watched them on Disney Plus, it's the first time I've watched them with all of the changes and shit put into them. And there's a lot of stuff that Lucas re-added to 4 and to 5 and 6 that just didn't need to be in the movie. Like all the extra shots of Cloud City and them landing, that was unnecessary. Like, why did he feel that was needed?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, just I don't know. It's weird.
And with the new movies, 7, 8, and 9, I love Rey. I love that she's Palpatine's daughter. But that idiot roundhead Ryan Johnson wanted to make it so she wasn't, you know. He tried to make her be a loser. And then he made all the guys wusses, you know. They made it a big political thing. And I mean, if people don't realize it, that's fine and enjoy it. But I mean, they're totally trying to make men look terrible in that movie.
So, you know, Whip's issue with Book of Boba Fett is that the actor is now 60 years old, but he's playing someone younger. Metalhead said they had to use him to play Jango, but I'll counterpart that with they could have had him just voice the character if he never took the helmet off. They could have left him in the helmet the whole time, and he could have just done the voice lines like they did for Darth Vader.
Yeah, and they don't even have to use his voice because they used whatever that Jeremy dude's voice in the original movie or movies.
True.
When he said, "He's no good to me, Dad." You know.
But then they redid the voice lines using him.
And Boba was a clone, but he was made different from all the other clones. He was a special make for Jango. So yes. Jango could have made him have extended life, and he could have made him extra strong. He could have done anything he wanted. Now, I read the book that's not canon of Boba as a son on that planet, that water planet, you know, and it's a great book because he made a computer. Computers were like his best friends. So he was like really good at AI and stuff. And he made a computer at the library that he installed into Slave One. And Slave One has a great personality and everything. And you don't ever get to see that in the movies. But in the book, Slave One talks to Boba Fett and comes up with great ideas. He's like Boba Fett's R2.
Okay.
You know, and they kind of tried to steal that idea for the Millennium Falcon. Yeah. But originally that was Slave One was the computer brain that was Boba Fett's best friend.
All right, now I got a question. Do you say Millennium Falcon or the Millennium Falcon?
Millennium Falcon. I don't know.
Also, watching it back, I realized they don't say Princess Leia. They say Princess. They say it weird. They don't say Leia. They say it weird.
Princess Leia.
I don't know. They say it weird. Hey, J-Rock, what's going on?
Well, and half the time it sounds like they say Han Solo instead of Han Solo.
Yep.
But hey, man, they're in a different universe. People are going to have accents.
Yeah, that is true. That the point of Boba was he was an unaltered clone didn't have the advanced aging, didn't have the inhibitor chip and all that stuff. It was just a sun.
But he could have had reverse aging.
Okay.
Now, it said in the book that Jingo wanted him to be just like Jingo, because Jingo, if you read it, I read his backstory. He was a freaking machine. He was a slave that was found by Mandalorians and good Mandalorians. And there was this other, the Death Cult or some type of group that was bad ones.
Yep.
That they were always fighting against. Well, the Jedis went and they were told about this one planet that had Mandalorians and they were like trying to take over the place. But that place had hired the Mandalorians to get rid of the bad guys. Well, so it was like a double cross. And the Jedis came down and wiped out all of Jingo's guys. And when Jingo came back, he was such a badass. He killed all the Jedis with his hands. I mean, so cool. Now, these aren't mega Jedis. These aren't, the top ones but he knocks off a whole batch of them. And in the original storyline in the book, when they're all fighting in that arena, Jingo's knocking off Jedis like nothing.
He wasn't just standing next to freaking Dooku doing nothing. So
right
now, Beskar,
but Maul does, or Mace Windu does cut his head off.
Beskar can't be cut by a lightsaber, right? The armor.
Well, it would heat it up. You'd have to press it
because I vaguely I know when they did the whole dark saber,
it could be melted very slow.
Yeah, because I remember when they did the dark saber thing in Mandalorian, it kind of just bounced off of the Beskar armor, but you can still eat it. Yeah,
there's a couple different metals that are supposed to be saber proof.
Yeah,
but still, I think you could still melt it if you held it long enough. And it would really get hot and burn the person on the other side.
I will say I did like I know a lot of people for whatever reason didn't like season 3 of The Mandalorian. I loved it just because we got to see more of them. Oh, I won't spoil it then.
Yeah, my mom accidentally threw away, I think, the remote to the Fire Stick.
Oh.
And so I've got to buy a new Fire Stick to be able to watch it.
Okay.
And thank you to ABC Aquatics, Kenny, for letting me be able to watch Disney when I have a remote control. Where's my cup? I don't know. Where's my ABC cup? I have my whip cup. It must be in the wash.
Okay.
Never mind.
Uh-oh. So all of you that have stuck around for the 58 minutes we've been here, I completely forgot to mention at some point that we hit 3,000 subscribers, but then YouTube did its YouTube things and took 30 some odd away. Now I'm only 20 something away from it. So I already reached out to my best friends at Hikari, and they already said that they'll do a giveaway with me. So at some point we will be doing a giveaway. There's a poll out on the channel asking what kind of fish you'd want food for. So make sure you go over there, answer the poll, leave comments what kind of fish. That way I can give them the best idea of what kind of foods that you guys would want, so they can tell me how much I can get.
Awesome.
So that'll be the 3,000. I'm going to talk to a couple other people. Maybe we can do some stream giveaways, because that one's going to be through the Gleam app I've used before, where you got to check out their website, make sure you're following all that stuff, because that's the easier way to market it to them that it's worthwhile to do a giveaway.
Can you give away 3,000 ounces of Hikari food?
I mean, that's what we're probably going to be doing, foods. I didn't even think to ask about chemicals, because they do chemicals too, and I completely didn't even think about that.
Let's see how much 3,000 pounds or ounces is. Is there 16 ounces or 32 ounces in a pound?
Well, this is 1.5 ounces, this little bag.
16.
But yeah, so that'll be happening once it's official, and I can be like, hey, we hit it, and let's do this thing. So just, They did, yes. I don't specifically know how this one will work. I might do it so it's categorized or something, but that's why I wanted to get a feel for what kind of fish people wanted.
Oh my gosh. If you could get them to give you 3,000 ounces, that would be equal to giving out 187.5 pounds.
Wow.
That's a lot of food
That
that could be
is.
potentially given away to one person.
Also, while we're on the subject of giveaways and stuff, Metalhead hit 500, and if we get him to 600 and some odd, he's going to wear a tutu at Keystone Clash and other milestone things. So if you're not subbed to Metalhead, go make sure you go over there and click that button so that we can see him in like a neon pink beard and a tutu.
Hey, what's the matter with a pink beard?
Nothing. Yours
No.
is red, though.
Hopefully it'll 90%. 90% of the time people tell me it's pink. And when I go to I have so many, and it's normally girls that are like 12 and under. They're like, they giggle and they like, I really like your pink beard. It's like, it's red.
Anyway, we are officially out of time. It is 1 minute past 6 o'clock, and Coldwater is streaming, so this will auto send you all over there. Thank you all for hanging out today. Thank you for the likes. Thank you, all the lurkers. Thank you for anyone watching this on the replay. Thank you, of course, Ed, for being here and hanging out with me. Thanks to Mods and everybody else in chat. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week, and have a good weekend, everybody. And Ed, you want to say any last words?
Nope.
Okay, goodbye.